And hello everyone, welcome to Invader's Weather News Invader's Weather Center for August 27th, 2021. I am meteorologist Invader here with your latest updates on Hurricane Ida. And we are also monitoring two disturbances that could become tropical cyclones. The latest details here on Invader's Weather Center as we track a potentially and life-threatening hurricane and heading towards the Louisiana coast and the United States coast. Here's the latest details we have. So, this is the old advisory here. This is Tropics from Ida, 11 a.m. EDT advisory, but the new advisory is out. It's now, Ida strengthens into a hurricane as it nears the Isle of Youth. Here's a new update here. Let me refresh this. So it's now Hurricane Ida. Hurricane Ida, according to the National Hurricane Center update statement. The data from the Air Force Reserve Hurricane Hunter aircraft indicates that Ida has strengthened into a hurricane as it approaches the Isle of Youth, Cuba. The maximum sustained winds are estimated to be 75 with higher gusts. So we do have a strengthened hurricane here, which is Tropical Storm Ida, now a hurricane, Hurricane Ida, with winds up to 75 miles, a Category 1 right now. You can see moving northwest at 15 miles right now, and a potential threat for the United States. So this is the old advisory, but I'm going to show you the archive here. This was the advisory started yesterday here with Ida, so you can see this form, and a lot has changed with the past. So we remembered that this will start. That a lot everyone. I know if you've been watching the news, you have been hearing about major hurricane, and this is one concern we were watching. And as we got closer, this gets real concerning to us, as this could be a potential major hurricane as it makes landfall very close to New Orleans, Louisiana here, as we are tracking a dangerous major hurricane to bring strong storm surge, potential life-threatening flooding, heavy rain, wind. It's going to be a crazy nightmare. We have a lot to talk about with Ida. Key messages here: life-threatening storm surge and hurricane conditions are expected later today and tonight in portions of western Cuba, including Isle of Youth, where a hurricane warning is in effect. Life-threatening heavy rain, flash flooding, and mudslides are expected across Jamaica, the Cayman Islands, and western Cuba, including the Isle of Youth. The risk of life-threatening storm surge and duration is increasing along the coast of Louisiana, Mississippi, and Alabama. Indication of some 7 to 11 feet above ground level is possible within the area from Morgan City, Louisiana, to Ocean Springs, Mississippi, including Lake Borgne. Interest in these areas should follow any advice given by local officials. Ida is expected to be a dangerous major hurricane when it reaches the northern Gulf Coast on Sunday, this upcoming Sunday, and the risk of hurricane force winds continues to increase, especially along portions of the Louisiana coast, including metropolitan New Orleans. Potentially devastating wind damage could occur where the core of Ida moves onshore. Warning / cold static images here. See the path of Hurricane Ida. We do have a hurricane warning in effect for parts of Cuba here. Tropical storm warnings, and all the way up here and over to Louisiana. In this light pinkish area, this is a hurricane watch in effect for parts of the Louisiana coast and Mississippi, and tropical storm watch for the Alabama coast, as Ida continues to move in the warm Gulf of Mexico waters, where the sea surface temperatures are quite high. So right now it's a hurricane. The National Hurricane Center has called it a hurricane now, with 75 miles winds. You can see the structural force wind probabilities here, as you can see right there. The 50-knot wind probabilities here, and then the hurricane wind speed probabilities. So we have a lot to talk about with this dangerous system as it continues near the coast. So here's the earliest reasonable arrival time of tropical force winds. All times are EDT. So probably by Sunday, 8 p.m. it's gonna be. Saturday 8 p.m. You can start feeling those tropical storm force winds along the Louisiana coast. Starting Saturday 8 p.m., the earliest reasonable time of tropical storm force winds will start being felt by the parts of Louisiana coast, Mississippi coast is Saturday 8 p.m. Then the most likely reasonable arrival time of tropical force winds, all times EDT. Starting Sunday 8 a.m. along the Louisiana coast, they could start feeling some tropical storm force winds. By Sunday 8 a.m., by Sunday 8 p.m., it's gonna start being felt up here in this area. The most likely arrival time of these winds. Then we got the warning surface quote interactive map here. If you read Spanish, here's the key messages in Spanish here. Then we got the storm surge intuition, which we need to talk more about. So with Ida, it's gonna be a threat for those areas. So this is a real concern for people to please watch this closely, especially in these areas where people should be watching these areas with the storm surge. So for flood risk, here's the map here, and if you see this little white shaded area, it's a levied area. So it says New Orleans is an underground city. There's a levee in that area. You should consult local officials for the flood risk. So that's the levee area, and here's the inundation layer. So it's a really big map. So right here is storm surge flooding. So the red is greater than 9 feet above ground. The orange here is greater than 6 feet above ground. Above ground means it will go like over like above ground to like on ground. It will be on the ground. There will be flash flooding over the buildings. So it's above ground. Orange is greater than 6 feet above ground. The yellow color is greater than 3 feet above ground, and the blue is greater than 1 foot above ground. Then the intertidal zone slash estuarine wetland will be the gray. So here's the map of the storm surge flooding. Now let's get over here first, where you can watch storm surge flooding here. This area we gotta watch closely along the coast here with storm surge flooding. So please be aware of the color coded here. You can see with the storm surge flooding in this area, it's gonna be there's gonna be a lot of storm surge, especially in this area right here with the storm surge in the red, greater than 9 feet above ground. So you can see along the blue and orange here in the red, we do have potential storm surge flooding along this area. So please watch that area very closely as we continue. These areas will have to be watched because you see all these yellows and orange. This is usually greater than 6 feet above ground or greater than 3 feet above ground with a storm surge induration. Storm surge watches and warnings. We do have a storm surge watch in effect right now along from Port Arthur, from just near Port Arthur here, near Cameron. Storm surge watch along the coast here near the New Orleans coast, parts of Mississippi coast and Alabama coast. There is a storm surge watch in effect along these areas. Then we got the peak storm surge from Sabine Pass to Rockefeller Wildlife Refuge, 2 to 4 feet of storm surge. From this area, from Rockefeller Wildlife Refuge to Morgan City, 4 to 7 feet. Vermilion Bay, 4 to 7 feet. From Morgan City to Ocean Springs, 7 to 11 feet of storm surge. Lake Pass, Lake Pontchartrain, Pontchartrain, 4 to 6 feet of storm surge. Lake Murray Pass, 3 to 5 feet of storm surge. Vermilion Bay, 4 to 7 feet of storm surge. From Ocean Springs to the Mississippi-Alabama border, 4 to 7 feet. 4 to 7 feet of storm surge. From the Mississippi-Alabama border to the Alabama/Florida border. From here in Mobile Bay, 3 to 5 feet of storm surge. Here's the U.S. rainfall rates. So here's the colors here. So we expect in the red up to 10 inches of rain, maybe up to 15 of rain, 15 inches of rain is possible. So maybe up to 15 inches of rain, we could expect that rainfall rates, and there is a flash flooding potential, moderate risk now. So you can see there, this major hurricane could be a threat in the upcoming weekend. So have your plans ready, get your supplies ready, and please be aware of the local officials on evacuations. Or yeah. So So please have your plans mobilized and prepared from the upcoming Hurricane Ida. Okay, now the National Hurricane Center has made this a hurricane, 75-mile winds. Now we do have a few other disturbances over here. We got one disturbance here that's 80% chance in the next 48 hours and 5 days, and one disturbance over here during the next 48 hours is 40%, 5 days, 60%. So we got two disturbances over here. This one is 40% in the next 48 hours, 80% in the next 48 hours. So we could see maybe two tropical cyclones in the Atlantic as, you know, the waters are getting warmer, all that stuff. And this, if this forms after Ida, this could be Julian and Kate. So Julian and Kate could form as well, and we could start seeing our second major hurricane of the season, which will be Ida. Um, so let's look at the forecast models here. Southeast United States here. You can see the cone. You see how the pressure is dropping dramatically. The pressure is going to be at 955. So let's look at the hurricane pressure chart. It's a little chart here. So here's a chart here. So about, let's see, so 955 millibars. That's about a category 3. So it's gonna still stay at category 3 level. Category 4 can't be ruled out, but could be possible, but it can't be ruled out. A category 3 for now, but this pressure is dropping dramatically. Once it makes landfall near the Louisiana coast, we expect strong winds from this major hurricane, flash flooding, storm surge. It's gonna be a life-threatening hurricane, so please stay tuned for the latest details here on the latest information on FS News, and please stay to local officials news. And we expect landfall to be at by 8 p.m. We expect landfall on August 30th. Moves on land by 2 a.m. Then continues to move up land here with the and yeah, continues to move upward here, and it will continue to move upward by Tuesday. It's going to be a fast-moving hurricane, and it will continue to move upward and bring some rain along the southeast. And yeah, it's going to be a flooding threat, so please be aware of that. Here's the rainfall. So, and yes, the models could change over time, so please stay tuned for the details, because the models could change over time. The GFS, Icon, European models could change over time. So it's best that you stay tuned for the latest details and updates here we have on FS News. Flash flooding for the precipitation rate for rainfall rate. We could expect in this area as high up to 20 inches of rain possible. And along this area, this yellow shaded area, up to 20 inches possible. Some areas could see 16 inches, 14 inches, 12 inches, 10 inches of rain. Along this reddish area, up to 9 or 8 inches of rain, maybe up to 7 inches of rain. Then along Mississippi and parts of Alabama, they could expect up to 5 inches of rain or 6 inches of rain in some areas. Then parts of Georgia, along western Georgia, up to 1.75 inches of rain, or about 1 inch of rain in those areas apart along western Georgia, eastern Alabama here. So we need to watch this very closely as it's a dangerous concern. You need to have a plan ready, and please know your hurricane evacuation routes. These hurricanes are no things to joke with. These are very serious concerns, and it's best to get a plan ready. So here's the icon model here. This takes it a little westward here with the icon model. So these are different weather models here. So this one takes it to make landfall at 2 a.m. on August 30th. So this is the icon model here. Then we got then here's the CMC model. Hang on. Yeah, here's the icon model here. Let me see if there's any other weather models. Here's the NAM GEM here model here with what it's saying. So there's different weather models here. It takes it to a little. It takes the same path as that the icon model here. So that's the NAGEM model here. The CMC model takes it a little westward too. Well, actually, it takes it a little eastward. So it's gonna make direct landfall towards New Orleans with the CMC model. So these are different weather models here, which these models could change over time. Here's the CMC model, which takes a little near New Orleans and could make a direct landfall towards New Orleans, like a Hurricane Katrina here. Let me see if we have any other weather models. So I already did the And here's the European model. Actually, we have to check that model out. Then let's look at the HRRR model. The HRRR model here, with this model, it doesn't go far out, but you can see the hurricane right there in that area. The HRRR model doesn't get out, so yeah. So here you can see, I'm gonna get it closer here. You can see the clear perspective of Hurricane Iota as it nears. There's like a little eye wall right there. And yeah, by 8 a.m. August 29th, you can just start feeling those impacts on Sunday with this massive hurricane. Hurricane hurrying down towards Louisiana. Expected landfall is at 8 p.m. Sunday. According to National Hurricane Center, they expect landfall to be 8 p.m. Sunday, but this could change over time. It could be earlier or later. So please stay tuned for the latest weather news details because this information will change over time. And by the time we get closer and closer, it's important that you be aware of what's going on with that. So that's the HRRR model here. Never look at the aircraft recons. There's about missions going to Ida right now. There's this mission is finished. This mission is finished here as the Hurricane Hunters have got data, and you already know it's strengthening here. And here's the satellite loop, the infrared loop here. You can see making some impacts right now as a hurricane. You see strengthening in those waters, so it's strengthening and the Global Plus Hurricane models are clear now that all the models are saying this could be taking to hit a landfall for Louisiana. Like all these models are agreeing to a landfall towards Louisiana. It's become clear now that this could make a possible landfall towards Louisiana. And the path could shift eastward a little bit or westward, but we'll have to wait and see. So all the models are now saying Louisiana landfall is possible and all the models are agreeing it's gonna be making landfall somewhere in this area, where all the models will agree to the landfall. And the intensity guidance model guidance here, all these models here are saying a major hurricane could be possible. Between the Category 2 and Category 3, a major hurricane could be possible. Like there's 5 models agreeing to it. Much of these models are agreeing to it, and one model is saying Category 4 but Category 3 for now with Ida. So that's what we're going to expect with the intensity guidance for those models. The GFS models here, those models are clear with the same path as the model track guidance, the spaghetti models there. We can see with that one. And here's we're going to check out the ocean, the sea surface temperatures. The waters are really quite warm in the Gulf of Mexico. I'm going to explain why now. So let's check that out. It's loading, guys. Here, we're gonna go to the North Atlantic. So the Gulf of Mexico is right here, and Ida's right here. So when it continues to move up north into near the Louisiana coast, it's gonna enter the warm waters of the Gulf of Mexico. And by the time it reaches near the New Orleans coast, it's gonna take in all that warm water and it's gonna strengthen at a major hurricane. So when it enters this little reddish water in the Gulf of Mexico, it's gonna strengthen a lot, like a lot. Where that energy in the warm water, it's gonna be fuel for the hurricane. So it's fuel for the hurricane to strengthen to a major hurricane. So you can see why it's gonna be a strong major hurricane, life-threatening hurricane for Louisiana because the Gulf of Mexico waters are quite warm, and it's gonna be strong. As this hurricane makes landfall, it's going to be a strong hurricane, major hurricane, because all that warm water is basically energy for this hurricane, which is why it's going to be a strong major hurricane at landfall. So that's all for Invaders weather news here. Here's the National Water Service for New Orleans here with the wind threat. It's going to be a lot to talk about, but we're going to explain more about this in another video. Oh, here's the get a disaster supply kit. So please get this kit. So please so a disaster supply kit. So please have a kit like this if if you're gonna plan to stay in the hurricane area. Get a planned disaster supply kit. So please, if you can, make sure you put this in your kit and buy some of the stuff if you can. Some of the basics to be included in the disaster supply kit. So in case you lose power and all that stuff, you're prepared with the disaster supply kit. So be sure to have 3 to 5 days supply of food and water, at least 1 gallon per person per day. Battery power radio, battery power radio / NOAA weather radio with tone alert, flashlight and extra batteries, first aid kit with any necessary medicine, whistle to signal for help if necessary, cleaning supplies, wrench/pillar to turn off utilities, cell phone with charger, inventor or stroller charger, cash, ATMs, and credit cards might not work, so please have cash in your hand for handy just in case. And please know your hurricane zone and be familiar with your evacuation zones. Know what to do and prepare for hurricanes. Hurricanes aren't just a coastal problem. High winds, tornadoes, and flooding can cause impacts hundreds of miles inland. Here's what you can do to get ready now. So if you're in the hurricane watch area, tropical storm watch area, please be aware of that you're still in threat with this dangerous system. So have a plan ready, be prepared as this system nears the Louisiana coast where everyone just needs to get ready and have a plan ready. I'm Meteorologist Invader for Invader's Weather Center News. I'm Meteorologist Invader. Thanks for watching Invader's Weather News on Hurricane Ida. I am Meteorologist Invader. Well, like another video coming out later on. And thanks for watching. Bye, guys.